Hi, I'm Liz Parker, senior editor of Candy Industry Magazine. Today we're talking with Stephanie Stuckey of the Stuckey's brand. Thanks for being here, Stephanie.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So first off, Stuckey's was originally founded by your grandfather and it used to have physical store locations. Can you talk a bit about the history of the brand and why you decided to revive it?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So, like a lot of the candy manufacturers in America, we are a family business, and I'm delighted to be carrying on the Stuckey family tradition that had a bit of a detour along our journey. My grandfather started Stuckey's as a roadside pecan stand and added candy a couple months later, and sales just took off, especially when my grandmother created the world's first pecan log roll. And to this day, that is one of our top sellers. So we really started as a pecan snack and candy company, and the stores came several years later. He kept adding stores, and at our peak in the 1970s, we had over 350 stores in 40 states. My grandfather sold the company, and it was out of our family hands for decades. And 3 years ago, I had the completely unexpected opportunity to buy the company. I'm an environmental attorney, so this was not on my part of my strategic plan to suddenly start making candy. But when life throws you a curveball, sometimes you have to catch it instead of dodge it. And so now I'm running our candy company. We only have a handful of the original stores still operating. There are 13 still out there. And then we have in total 50 branded locations that pay us a licensing fee. We do not own those stores, but they are part of our brand. But most of our revenue is generated from the pecan snacks and candies that we make ourselves at our pecan plant in Rennes, Georgia. Everything is sourced from local farmers, and we're American made company. So it's a fun story.
Okay. And since taking over the company, what kind of changes have you made since then?
Major changes. The number one is that we got back into manufacturing. My grandfather had a candy plant in Eastman, Georgia. That plant, sadly, is now long shuttered, and we were not in a position to restore that. But we bought a pre-existing facility 2.5 years ago. That's been the biggest game changer. So with the addition of that, we went from less than 10 employees to almost 100 at this point. And only a handful, maybe 100 or so retail accounts that sold our product that weren't branded Stuckey's. And now we have thousands of retail accounts, and we use distributors and brokers, as well as we have several of our own sales reps that service accounts. So that's been the biggest game changer, is really pivoting from relying on brick and mortar stores to we're all about pecan snacks and candies now.
Okay. That makes sense. And then I am going to bring up your LinkedIn post from today. You said you are stepping down as CEO kind of to focus on the brand itself.
Yeah, now I wouldn't view it as stepping down, as stepping over, because we're equals. There are 3 partners. My business partner, RG Lamar, has been president, and we've been operating as equals with me as CEO and him as president. But I think with him managing the operations and the finances, and me in charge of the outward presence of Stuckey, so I'm the face and the voice of the brand. I do the marketing. I help with sales as far as telling the story of the brand. I'm more of the opener, and then our director of sales is the closer. But it's more aligned with our roles, and it's actually was my suggestion that we make this shift. I think it's important as you grow and evolve as a company to be nimble with your organization and make sure that the roles are fitting with, as the company grows, what your vision is. And so it's just an outward recognition of the inward change we've had, and it's been very positive. Everyone's embraced the change internally. We announced a change internally a little over a week ago, and the team has responded enthusiastically. So it's going great.
Sounds good. Speaking of which, you have a lot of success on LinkedIn, I've noticed, which is great. Like a lot of people responding to posts, things like that.
Yeah, it's been fun. We just share our story and people respond to it. And there's a lot of themes there that connect with people, themes of entrepreneurship, American made, manufacturing, and family businesses. And those are all themes that resonate really well with your readership and your listenership. So I really love how aligned we are.
Yep. For sure. And then you've talked about this a little bit, but Stuckey's pecan rolls, of course, are well known. But what are some of the other products that the brand makes?
Yes, so thank you for stopping by our booth at the Sweets and Snack Expo. That is our biggest trade show of the year. We absolutely love it, and it's fun. It's exhausting, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And we picked up my favorite as well, which is the gopher. We call it a gopher. Most people know it as a turtle, but for trademark reasons, we came up with gopher, which
Mhm.
is actually what my grandfather called this confection, and it is freshly picked and roasted. So we only use fresh crop pecans, and we roast the pieces and salt them. That's the base. And then we pour made from scratch caramel sauce on top, and then we put a dollop of chocolate, and we do milk chocolate and white chocolate. We have two varieties, and it's just to die for. It's so simple, but it's the highest quality ingredients. That's one of the things that I was super passionate about when we decided to revive this brand is we're going to start standing for quality again. And for decades, we had been outsourcing our product to a variety of co-packers, and there was no uniformity, no consistency in the brand. The taste profile was all over the map, and no disrespect to the co-packers we use because they're all wonderful, but we wanted to have our product that we made ourselves according to our recipes that were true to the original taste profile of my grandmother's kitchen, and that's what we're doing now. It's been a game changer. So our gophers, and then of course the pecan log roll is the classic that everyone knows us for, and then the highest category as far as increase in new sales and getting new customers on board has been our pecan snacks. We have kettle glazed, honey roasted, maple, and sea salt, and we're going to be rolling out some new flavors in the coming year, which we're super excited about.
I have a question about that for later about new flavors.
Yeah.
But I did try the in the package you sent me. I think I tried the kettle roasted, and those were my
Yes.
favorite as well. They were really good.
We have a top secret proprietary method that my business partner helped develop that really seals in the flavor. And if you are a pecan connoisseur, you will know there's nothing worse than overly sugar-coated pecans that taste mushy. And ours just crisp. It's amazing. And they stay like that for a year. They have a shelf life of a year, and we have a nitrogen flush, and we make sure that we seal them in airtight, and makes all the difference using the fresh pecans and the best ingredients. Everything's made from scratch, and we don't overcoat it. It's just a nice, thin, crispy coating, and they're snackalicious, crackalicious.
How does the nitrogen flush work? What is that exactly?
Good question. I do not know.
I assume something with freshness based on what you just said, but
That's part of what I like about my role is I think my superpower has been building a team.
Mhm.
I put in really good people, and I'm not a believer in putting in really good people and then just completely being hands off. I do like to learn from them and understand what they're doing and be supportive, and it's a give and take, but I do put in really good people who are experts in their field who've spent a lifetime developing that knowledge in how you package and how you manufacture. And that's what we did when we bought our candy plant. We kept the team. That was part of the acquisition. Was the deal included that we were going to keep the team on board, and they know how the nitrogen flush works.
That
That's
works.
what we buy nice equipment for.
Yep.
I do know it injects nitrogen,
Okay.
and I do know that oxygen, and if you have too much oxygen exposed to your product, it does not stay fresh as long.
Okay.
Nitrogen helps suck the oxygen out. That's all I remember. Apologies to my high school chemistry teacher if I got that wrong.
That's okay. I'm sure
Yeah.
going back to the products. So I'm in Michigan, Metro Detroit area, and I found them at like some random places. Like I found them at home, and I
Yes.
found them at Bronner's, which is like the largest Christmas store in the US. But where can people generally find your products?
So we're working on scaling where we're going to be more available. I would love to be like in a Kroger or a Publix, but we're growing strategically and deliberately in a way that makes sense with our capacity to produce. So Hopefully in a couple of years, it's going to be super easy to find us. For now, we are growing mostly in the Southeast, which is our hub. We're based in Georgia and have been since 1937. But we are expanding slowly, not fast enough for me, but we are expanding to some national chains. And At Home is one of our favorites. That is a good go-to place to find our snacks. We also just landed in select TAs, Travel Centers of America, select pilots. We are in Wawa in Florida. We have one SKU of our pecans, the maple pecans. We're in Mapco and Murphy USA nationwide. We're in Easy Mart, which is a regional convenience store. We're in Hobby Lobby. I hope I got most of the main ones. And then regionally, we're in Ingles and Food Lion, really working hard to get on in more of the grocery channels. And we'll be adding some more grocery channels, hopefully in the near future. And we co-pack, we do private label for some companies. So unfortunately, I can't tell you, but you just might be eating a pecan log roll or a gopher that we've actually made. It just doesn't, or a pecan snack. It just doesn't have our name on it.
Right. Private label.
That's part of our growth. And you can also find us at Stuckey's online, anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, anywhere in the US. We do not ship abroad yet. But if you are in the US, click on Stuckeys.com and you can get a pecan log roll sent to your house in a few days.
I think I did that after I had the gopher.
Yeah.
I was like, where can I get this? And I immediately Googled Stuckey's pecan gopher.
And a t-shirt and a hat, and we got some fun merch.
I'll have to look. I know we have pilots here and Hobby Lobby, so I'll have to look around for that, which brings me to my next question. You kind of alluded to this earlier. What's next for the brand for this year or early 2024?
Well, we have several strategic initiatives. First and foremost is, well, this is the very high level. We want to sell more pecans to more people for more money, right? Mm-hmm. So we will be expanding to more distribution channels. So stay tuned. We've got folks ready in the pipeline. So you'll see us in more stores. And then our team is actively working on new flavors. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but we do have some fun flavors that we've been experimenting with, and you'll see more savory. And we're also hoping to roll out some that have a bit of a international flair, like maybe some chili lime pepper or habanero. Teriyaki is one that we've experimented with. So we may not be rolling those out ASAP, but you will be seeing slowly. We're going to be getting new flavors. And then internally, we're expanding our candy plant. We are doing that right now. We're in the process of adding more square footage of food production, and we just finished the floors and the roof, and we are bringing on new equipment. Everything should be fully operational beginning of 2024. It's really exciting.
That sounds good. And then just to wrap this up, what is your favorite personal Stuckey's product?
The kettle glazed pecan.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. And I actually like to mix it up. I like the sweet and savory. So my little Stuckey's hack is I'll get kettle glazed and sea salt and mix them together.
Ooh,
it's perfect.
Pretty good. I think I have some of the sea salt ones too, so I will have to try that. Mix it together.
And those are healthy. And I think, you know, you can arguably say that pecans are most definitely among the healthiest nut. When you layer them with sugar, maybe less healthy, more of a fun treat, but the sea salt is healthy.
Yeah, I think that's a good healthy.
Yeah, I wouldn't go overboard on the salt, but we do put salt, and then we sell raw pecans as well. So if you want to really be super healthy, go online and get our raw pecans or the pecan pieces of the pecan meal. And if you're a baker, put those in just about anything from salads to fish toppings to, of course, everyone loves pecan pie. Season's coming up.
Yep. Holiday season, all of that. Well,
now it's the biggest time of the year for pecans. We're excited.
It's true. Yep. Well, thanks again for being here with us today.
Thank you, Liz. It's been my pleasure.